he saw there that great-grandfather was a counselor. And the first earlier documents that he saw was signature was Jaco Hiwekut. And reading more documents later, found that other documents that he signed was Jaco Hiwekut de Conti. And furthermore, some years, I don't know how long he stayed there, but one of the documents that he later found that other documents that he signed was Jaco Hiwekut de Conti. And furthermore, some years, I don't know how long he stayed there, but one of the documents that he later found that who was that speaking of the anyway, if I could continue. Okay, the last documents that he read, but my great grandfather's signature on it, now it says Jaco de Conti. Well, Hiwekut had been totally dropped off. That's how it came our names. So anyway, myself, I've worked with elders ever since I was a young man, and learned their ways and a lot of their ceremonies. We traveled both Canada and the United States, some overseas work also. And somewhere along the line, my elder had introduced me to some pipe keepers as his sacred fire keeper. So there in Poundmaker's Lodge, I was asked to do the fire the Eastern way, because that's way out in Alberta. So I says, first thing, my priority being here is to be with this elder at all times, and can't leave and do something else. But I says, I'll do the ceremony our way, and then your helpers would maintain the fire for the next 3-4 days that the conference was. So that's when I became a sacred firekeeper and earned my first eagle feather to work with. And I really enjoy my work here. I consider it as a gift. So now, if you bear with me, I will do a prayer in Algonquin. You see, a lot of times we forget to thank the Creator for everything that here on earth for us to survive. So this prayer will do that today, and it'll cover a lot of things. It might be lengthy a bit, but I ask you to help me out. Ishemandu, Ishmiwech, Nogum Gajigok, Malizuin, Minum Malizuin. Kakina, Aitono, Idakamik, Ijuindad is young. What Chigizis says in Sugijik, Wado Kawaj. Ushaki, Quenis Kadana, and also the Kina, the Schnabewaki. Winter Schnabe, I such Ijabita. Edes, de bekizes kaivin, wadonshag. Be me wijiwajik. Hukumisses ana Asia de bekizes. Widokawa waj hukumisan ijik ashkal meujanij. Ijina nakinis, ashmini uznij kaivin. Kenoshe penmuang, Jamal Ziang, Jamal Kaki. Ik kon even iets noden. Hij hebben ze toen een suggestie. Je een sale. In een bijeen gug. Ik gam saigan sibin. De bijeen sing. De bijeen namang was een namakika. Hij skude amin uzian. Je na je toan. In is een sema. Me kawen aus in intam shemando. Jimmy Witch. Schudega ye ayabato ang en sugijik. Waluka yang eje maliziang. Edeshke akina epen moang ijivisiniang. Awesinzak, beneshuak, iunzak. En ninzawaganak, ninzawagansak. We know we was a bit more anymore. Ijivisinin in a sugijik. Jimmy Witch now. Eske nogum gajek, Kawin, Nuanike Sinanig, Nushom Sinanig, Nigokum Sinanig. Gestu Arjan Yavach, Ijaginamawaj, Weshkini Inijan, Bemalizawin, Minum Manzawin. Me Witch in our work. Edeske nogum, Ojigaken, Ugo in a mitaj, sugar gate. Zinana Ulamuaje, Ishia was in Yavach Bebomishka. Evinava, to meet rich now. There's in Ajak, or in the notes, the Chuck A. Seaman. No Gomonaje, Mauji Janan, Majish, the Majishka, a Shedwabo. There's him, I mean, that was the Wazu. She nama she awak ajik anyway. Aye go wishni je gana way anyway jig. Aye go ega mashe make anyway. We look question am the ena is Ejiminosek in a o Ejibu Sendamo. Jimmy Wedge, Jamando, me Wedge. Thank you.
So, miigwech to the elder Peter DeConti for the beautiful prayer. And now we would like to, we will be inviting the elder Claudette Commanda for some welcoming remarks to the Anishinaabeg territory. Claudette Commanda is Anishinaabe Algonquin from Gittigan-Zibi Anishinaabeg First Nations in Quebec. So as an alumna of University of Ottawa, faculties of Law and Arts, Claudette has dedicated the last 35 years promoting First Nations peoples' histories, cultures, and rights, and now serves as the 15th Chancellor of the University of Ottawa, the first Indigenous person to hold this role in 175 years history in that post-secondary institution. She is the Chief Executive Officer of the First Nations Confederacy of Cultural Education Center a national center that protects and promotes First Nations cultures, languages, and traditional knowledge. She is also the CEO of McLean Day School Settlement Corporation and served as well 3 terms on the Gittigan-Zibi Anishinaabe Band Council. So please join me in welcoming Elder Claudette Commanda, my cousin. Congrats.
Hey, Wedge. I don't need a mic. Seriously. Can you all hear me without the mic? Okay, fine. Oh, yeah, that's true. Translations, interpretations. Okay, here I am. Kwe kakina. Bonjour tout le monde. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Hi, Jimmy. I would start singing that song for you, but I won't right now, okay? But I want to begin by thanking Elder Peter DeConti for that beautiful prayer and sharing your family history and blessing us with those beautiful words and quite powerful because it was only done in the Anishinaabe Muin. So Chimigwech, Peter Kiemiawin, Chimigwech. Kwe kakina, kani michkishgun kinu in addition to cause kitaganzi bidonjaban. Jajikoma Anishinaabe kio mama weninuag. Migwech kibijaya goma nongum. Bienvenue toutes mes amis, bienvenue. Mon nom c'est Claudette Commanda. Je suis une femme algonquine de la Première Nation de Kitigan-Zibi, puis bienvenue ici. Bienvenue ici à toutes mes amis, mes frères, mes sœurs. Bienvenue ici à la territoire non cédé de nos ancêtres, la nation algonquine. I'm always honored and proud to stand before our ancestors and my relatives, and to honor each and every one of you by saying, welcome to this beautiful homeland, this beautiful, unsurrendered, unceded homeland of our people and our ancestors, the Algonquin Nation. So welcome. I always remembered what my grandfather, the late William Commanda, always said. He said, whenever you have that opportunity to stand before in the public, you need to always remind people whose land that they're on. And then whenever we go into other people's territory, we also have that responsibility to acknowledge the territory that we are on. So I welcome each and every one of you. And no matter what nation we come from, we are all relatives. We are all relatives, and that's so important. And as we gather here this evening, because I know tomorrow is an important day of a meeting which relates to one of those legacies of residential schools. And I'm not going to go into that because tonight we're together. We're here together as family. We're here together as relatives. We're here together as allies. We're here together as friends. And we're going to share a meal together. We're going to get to know one another. We're going to laugh with one another for sure. We won't laugh at one another. We will laugh amongst ourselves with joy, but at times we may cry with one another. And I'm always honored and proud to always be in the company of elders, and in particular, those that I have not seen in a long time. And to me, that's a blessing because I know that you're still here walking with us. And we certainly need that wisdom of our elders more so today than any other time, and especially these trying times. So, Niwichkiwe Dug, thank you for being here, and let's enjoy this evening. Welcome to the territory. Let's be together. Let's enjoy this good food. Let's just enjoy the evening, and as what the Creator has blessed us with love, with kindness, with life, let us show that to one another. And I want to tell each and every one of you, Kizagi, and I love each and every one of you. So take good care, and Creator bless each and every one of you and your families. And We'll see each other again in about 2 seconds when I get off the stage. Always a blessing to see each and every one of you. So, I love you.
I like giving gifts out to people, but I also like receiving them too as well. Thank you, Elder Commanda. It is an honor to be a guest on your territory. I've been here since 1999, so I'm a long-term guest, and I'm really pleased to be here. So thank you for doing our welcoming to the territory. Now we would like to invite Crystal Fraser, a member of the governing circle of the National Center for Truth and Reconciliation, to tell us about our host, the National Advisory Committee on Residential Schools, Missing Children, and Unmarked Burials. Crystal Gail Fraser, pronouns she and her, is a Gichin historian who has undertaken extensive and award-winning research on Indian residential schools in the North. She is widely published in academic and popular magazine or media, including the forthcoming book, By Strength, We Are Still Here, Indigenous Strength and Resilience of Inuvik Indian Residential Schools since 1959. Crystal is an assistant professor in history and Native studies at the University of Alberta. Please help me welcome Crystal to the stage.
Ngwinzi Shalak. I love listening to the bios of our people and relatives. You hear about all the cool stuff that people do and you're like, damn, I wish I could be like that. And so from my perspective, a part of being like that is coming together like this on sometimes sad topics, but also really important topics that need our attention and care. Shori Crystal Gail Fraser Vilji, Anuvik Saat Dechen Cho Genjik Gwitsak Gwitchia Gwitchin Ithli. So my name is Crystal Gail Fraser. I am Gwitchia Gwitchin and of Scottish and English ancestry, originally from Anuvik, Northwest Territories, and my fish camp in Dechencho Genjik. I'm very honored to be here tonight with my children for the first time at an event like this. My daughter Quinn, give a little wave. And my 9-month-old son Jet, which is right there. So feel free to come and pinch the baby. I'm sure Quinn would welcome little slips of candy or something. So we are here on the unceded and unsurrendered lands of the Algonquin people. Thank you so much for welcoming us, and also my gratitude to the land and to the animals. Thank you, elders, for the beautiful prayers and welcoming remarks. I also want to thank 3 knowledge keepers and performers who are here with us to begin this event in a good way. McKenna Rankin, Elder Oliver Boulette, and Elder David Surquois. Thank you so much. Hai Cho. I also want to thank the survivors and intergenerational survivors who are with us in person and online. We do this work for you, but we also do it because of you. Without your strength and your courage and your persistence, somebody said spiciness today. Where's Kona? We show up with spiciness also. These are all really important characteristics and practices in the pursuit of the truth of the Indian residential school system. So this national gathering is focused on technology that is mostly associated with unmarked graves. In the presentations tomorrow, you will hear about its strengths, but also its limitations and how to make the best use of the resources that are available. But we also know that the search for little ones is ultimately not about the technology. It is about truth and memory and knowledge. It's also about healing. And that's why it's so important that we undertake this work in a good way. We need to honor and care for survivors, the ones who are no longer here, but also the ones who are here. We are here to mourn, and we are also here to celebrate. I have little notes on the bottom of my page from Quinn that say, "Good job. You're the best." I will say that to all of you also. Good job. You are the best. So in a few moments, 3 members of the National Advisory Committee will lead us in a short ceremony to honor the children. But before that, I want to introduce the committee members who are here. Maybe if you're able, you could just stand up and give a little bit of a wave. We will be here all day tomorrow, and I really encourage anyone, if you have questions, if you want to meet us, just come up and approach us. So first, I'm going to introduce the members of the Circle of Survivors who guide the committee. Larry Henneque. Thank you, Larry. Gotcha. Thank you. Jackie Bouvier. Hi, Jackie. Terry Brown. John Morisseau. And I haven't seen her yet, but Lillian Elias. Is Lillian here? No, Lillian is not here. I was also, yes, please clap for Lillian. So the ceremony to honor the children, I was just corrected, that is going to happen tomorrow. There are also, so these 5 individuals on the Circle of Survivors, they are the heart of the National Advisory Committee, and they make sure that everything the NAC does is survivor-led and trauma-informed. So next, I would like to introduce the members of the expert committee. Online, we have Rebecca Jacques. If Rebecca is there. Here in person, we have David Aglukark. David. Madeline Basile. Harley Croshoe. Raymond Frogner. Monica Itu Sarchuat. Andrew Martindale. Brenda Reynolds. Keisha Supernaut. Kona Williams. And myself, Crystal Fraser. So you can find all of our bios online at nac-cnn.ca. There is also a pamphlet at the desk. And so tonight and tomorrow, I really encourage everyone to introduce themselves. We're here to explore the ways that we can work together, learn from each other. I always find at these events, there is unlearning that also happens. So enjoy the night. We have a beautiful lineup of food, clearly a hungry baby. So I will leave you with that. Hi, Cho.
Miigwech, Crystal. So yes, and also to the NCTR team for supporting this important gathering. So now we can commence we have a big lunch there for you tonight. And when we return to our seats, we will enjoy some good dance and music, and which is important because as we know, the Indian Act Band are dancing and ceremonies up until 1951. So also, we would like for those that are supporting the elders, if you would like to start right now to bring them their plates, miigwech. And now we will wait for everyone to have their food so that we can enjoy the performances from a hoop dancer, Macon Rankin, and then we will have a fiddler, Oliver Boulette, followed by the Inuk drummer, David Serkok. Miigwech.
Just an additional note, for those of you who informed the organizers of your dietary restrictions, please let the staff know. Just alert them.
Hello, everyone. Don't worry, more plates are on their way and more food is on its way. So please enjoy. Okay, so everybody, now we are ready to enjoy some entertainment over our meal. And first, we will have our hoop dancer, Makina Rankin. She's a Two-Spirit Anishinaabe and Franco-Ontario hoop dancer and nursing student. She was born and raised in Ottawa, and her family comes from Abitiwinini First Nations. So, go ahead, Makina. Do you need music? Okay, I'll let them know.
Kwekakina. Hello, everyone. My name is McKenna Rankin Guerin. I am Anishinaabe Algonquin from Abitibiwinni First Nation. I'm a part of the Turtle Clan, and my spirit name is Evening Star, Morning Star Woman. So today, I stand before you not only as a hoop dancer, but as the granddaughter of a residential school survivor. My family's story is one of strength and resilience. As we gather to discuss truth and reconciliation, I am reminded of the deep significance these words hold for myself, my family, and our community. Truth and reconciliation aren't just abstract ideas, they are a call to action, a plea for justice, and a path to healing. My grandmother faced unimaginable hardships at the Amos residential school she was forced to attend. There, she was stripped of her culture, language, and dignity. These schools were meant to erase our identity, but they could never extinguish our spirit. For me, truth means acknowledging these atrocities and listening to survivors' stories with open hearts. It's about understanding the intergenerational trauma that still affects Indigenous families today. Reconciliation is all about Canadians coming together to address the wrongs of the past. It means taking real steps to ensure such injustices never happen again, investing in Indigenous communities, respecting our rights, and honoring our traditions. A critical part of this truth involves recognizing that our traditional ceremonies, including powwows, were once illegal. The Canadian government outlawed these vital cultural practices in an attempt to suppress our identity and spirit. But despite those oppressive laws, our traditions survived, passed down through generations in secret with resilience and hope. The hoop dance is a beautiful example of this resilience. Traditionally, this dance was a men's dance, but during the time it was outlawed, the dance almost disappeared. So the men started to teach the women. So this dance is a healing dance, but it is also a powerful form of storytelling that uses hoops to create symbols and shapes that represents the circle of life. Each movement in the dance reflects the interconnectedness among all living things. There is no wrong way of seeing this dance. Just like how everyone has their own perception of the world that surrounds them, everyone will see something different within the dance. You are going to see what you are meant to see. And what you are meant to see is then going to create the emotion that you are meant to feel, which is the medicine of the hoop dance. Due to colonial assimilation tactics, my mother wasn't raised in our culture as intended due to my grandmother's experiences. However, I am extremely grateful for my mother's strength. It is thanks to her that I'm able to practice my culture and share this dance with you today. This dance is so much more than just a performance. It's a celebration of our heritage, a testament to our survival, and a profound act of cultural reclamation. Today, I would like to dedicate this hoop dance to all of my relations, all of our relations affected by Canada's colonialism. May this dance bring you peace and healing, and may the medicine continue long after it is finished.
Well, that was beautiful. So miigwech, Makina. Next. Next, we have Red River Métis elder and fiddler Oliver Boulette. Oliver was raised in the Métis community of Manitowogan. Hope I said that right, Manitoba, and attended residential school in Cranberry, Portage, Manitoba. After retiring for many years in the Manitoba and Red River Métis government, Oliver shares Métis knowledge through his unique Red River Métis style of fiddle music playing. So please help me in welcoming Oliver Boulette.
Thank you for that very nice introduction. And how about a big hand for that hoop dancer, man? Like she said, my name is Oliver Boulette. I'm from Manitoba. I'm a Red River Métis, and I have with me our instrument. I just want to, maybe, I could go here a long time, so I got to be careful. I asked the hoop dancer, how long should she show? She said about 7 to 12 minutes, so I guess that's what I got. Because Métis, they could dance all night. We could be here 4 o'clock in the morning still playing. I just want to start off by saying all Indigenous people have been given a musical instrument. And we all use that instrument to celebrate, to honor, to socialize, to mourn, and to pray with. First Nations, the Dene, and the Inuit, they've been given the drum. The Métis people have been given the fiddle. Our European fathers brought this fiddle to us, and when we melded the two cultures together, this became the heartbeat of our Métis nation. And I've used my fiddle in all of those things that I've described. Tomorrow I'll be helping out with the morning prayer, so I'll do it in prayer. I go to a lot of funerals and so on and so forth. So, but tonight I'm going to do it just in celebration and socializing. Today is, this evening is a time to get to know each other. And I already know some of you from on the plane today. I guess I'll have to go ask your name, but you're all flying here today, and a number of people came in from Winnipeg today. So I recognize a few people that were on our flight from there. And I want to say to the elders again, thank you very much for the prayer. Those things are just so important to get us started and set up so that we can do great work. I do a little bit of elder work, a little elder work once in a while as myself. I've had a chance to work with Elder Commanda a few times. And when I was being taught about elder work, they said the biggest job of an elder is just to remind us of our own responsibilities. And it's stuff like your parents tell you, don't forget to listen. Don't forget to respect your elders, Don't forget to choose your words wisely when you speak. Because we forget all of those things sometime. And in meetings like this, we say things sometimes we're sorry for. So that's what the elder does. They get up and they pray for you, and they remind you of your responsibilities that you have when you're at these things. So, and don't disappoint your family or your parents or anything like that. So I've had an opportunity to do that and learn a lot from Elder Commanda and the rest. But I'm here to play music and bring a little joy, so I'm going to do that. This instrument, the way the Red River Métis played is different than Cajun music. It's different than Down East music. It's different than the French music we have in Quebec. It's different in the Texas fiddling we have down south and bluegrass. And what makes it different? Well, what happens is we kind of defy or contradict or maybe don't play by the rules. We either drop off a note or else we add 1 or 2 grace notes in our tune. So it sounds like the fiddle player is playing out of time. But don't worry, we've got that covered. So when we're dancing, the dancer picks up that missing note with a scuff with their heel, and we just keep going. So that's kind of the key to it. And one of the One of the tunes that best demonstrates that missing note is a tune that was created in the Red River called the Red River Jig. And it drops off that note, and but the dancers, they pick it up. I've played this tune for a lot of different people, and people that are really formally trained. And I would get to the change and they say, "You're not playing that right." And when I explained this to them, they said, "Oh, that's what you do. You just pick up that missing note." So that's what happens in this tune. So I'm going to play my first tune, which is really the national anthem for the Métis people in Manitoba. It's the Red River Jig. It was created there. Little story behind that. I had some great teachers. A lot of these things, you know, they're passed down, and I've had some good teachers. And our Métis Nation is not that old, so Manitoba came into Confederation in 1870, and that's only about 3 generations ago. I'm about 4, so a lot of those stories are quite fresh. And this is one that Fiddler told me. The creation of the Red River Jig. So what happened was inside the fort, if you're in Winnipeg at the Fort Garry Hotel, that's where Upper Fort Garry used to be. If you go down the Red River a bit, you get to Lower Fort Garry. It's about 20 kilometers down the river. But at Upper Fort Garry, inside lived the fort lived the early settlers, and outside the fort lived the Métis people. And they would listen to the music inside the fort. There was bagpipes playing, so they would try to play some of these tunes. And out of that came this famous tune, the Red River Jig. They tuned the top string to get a drone note. And it has 2 parts to it. And with functions like this or after work, everybody would just to get together and socialize. And of course, we're quite competitive people, so we try to outdo each other. So people would try to do more steps, fancier steps. If you go to a powwow now, a lot of the fancy dancers are really showing off too. They're doing steps that other people haven't had. They get prizes for this. So everybody is trying to outdo each other a little bit. The Métis did that as well. I'm told that one, and I got to see him. I was quite young. There was one guy by the name of Freddie Flett. He came from the Interlake. He could do 45 different steps in the Red River Jig. That took about almost an hour to do that. When we see a demonstration now, we play the tune maybe 3 minutes to 5 minutes, and the most that people can get in of different steps would be about 12 maybe. So that gives you an idea how long this tune takes. But here's the Red River Jig, and I'm going to show you where the notes drop off. Right here. So if you're dancing and you get mixed up, you'll know that's where you got to do pick it up. Okay, I'm going to do, they call it 2 changes. I think if you're doing a powwow, they'd say, we're going to do, what would they say? Wow, I won't get into that. So here's 4 changes of the Red River Jig. Thank you. That was 4 changes of the Red River Jig. I was gonna say if you're at a power, they'd say 4 push-ups. We're gonna do 4 push-ups. A lot of the tunes that the Métis played were named after historical sites like Lower Fort Garry, Upper Fort Garry, Fort Ellis, and they were named quite often after animals, ducks, caribou. We have caribou too in Manitoba, the woodland caribou. These guys just thought they had it way up there, right? We do have the woodland caribou, and we have a tune called Caribou Reel. I gotta get this thing in tune or it'll sound like a bunch of us are playing. This tune's called The Duck Dance. Duck Dance. I might add that when the fiddle first came, that's all there was the fiddle. Then the spoons were added. People figured out, they used to just have the feet that would make a lot of noise. My grandfather said that lots of time when they were playing to dances, because they never had no sound systems like we have now, people will be just dancing to the sound of people dancing because they're dancing in the rhythm. But now we have microphones and sound systems and we can hear everything. So, but they just started with the fiddle and then they added spoons and then along came the guitar and then piano. That kind of changed things. It started to get us a little bit more in time. And then electric guitars and bass guitars. And now when you see a lot of Métis bands, they're a full band now. They just play. But what that has done, it has changed our music because I played in bands and they forced me to straighten out, they call it straighten out your music because I was playing crooked fiddle. They call it crooked fiddle, Métis fiddle as well. And those missing notes I had to put in so that I was in time with the drummer and the piano player and everything like that. And I'm kind of sorry now that I did it because I kind of lost my identity as a fiddle player. I only do a few tunes that really have that Métis sound. So I'm going to finish off with 2 tunes. I'm going to finish off with, which is another tune that the Métis have adopted, and it's almost like a national anthem there as well. A tune called Big John McNeil. They always dance to their breakdown for this tune. And this tune was written by someone in England. But you know, musicians, they don't steal tunes. Like classical people, they appropriate it. Doesn't that sound good for stealing? They appropriate their tunes. So a lot of these tunes I appropriated. Big John McNeil. Oh, I shouldn't have untuned this thing. Thank you. I'm going to finish off my piece here with a tune that I learned from a fiddle player from the Red River. It's an old one. Like I was telling you that a lot of tunes are named after events or things that happened. And over the next couple of days, you'll be talking about this kind of stuff. This is a tune. The title of it is called Lost Child. Now, I don't know the history of it. I don't know if there was a child lost or if it came after a lot of the children's kind of just disappeared, but this tune is called Lost Child. It's a Métis tune, and it's been brought back now, and a lot of people play it. So I'll end off with a little thing called Lost Child. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Oliver. If you were just sitting in your chair and you're tapping your toes inside your shoes, maybe tomorrow we can try to do a little bit of jigging. I might be coaxed to go up and dance. For our final performer tonight, we have an Inuk elder and drummer David Sirkoki. And David was born on the northern part of Milton Lake, Nunavut, southwest of Ariat, Nunavut. And David has worked in many levels in education as a teacher in primary and high schools, vice principal, principal, and instructor. David spends much of his time making Inuit drums and teaching youth about the art of drum making. So please help me welcome David to the stage.
Unudjak. Nudakawdik mga maka arwiniling ni ukyawak yung anana malo atata malo tiliw nginyak sunga ukyawakatik kay maka yang ni pihiliw kaya kawit at ipihiliw lang tiliw rin naksuti at ipihiliw lang tabanudakaw lang ma pihiliw ganik kama. Tiliw galiribun. Tuong maktakaya kami. At itong maktakaya kan ilikning. Kuna tuong aptokihiyang apko. Tiliw rin naksuti at itong maktakaya. Ukiyo kakatika tamang mik. Kuna pikko hiptinig. Atok titaw ni luktuun. Nutakaw lapta. Pihik taksong alo ang malo. Tuong nga taksong nga. Ako niling ni ukiyo kaktik yung nga. Tana tuong nga takaya ka. Inugaw niya yung mi atilik. Ukang maksuting. Tana ikayok tiginiakat inuhilog tak ni. Tuong ngay. Koy maniak pain. Ang malumumi yuhigama. Atauhin ng pihik. Tuhangin na siya miyata mumitaman. Unaw po na atatalong mapihikan niga. Demo what siya ako mumili ko atatalong mapihianik. Tuhani aktuhin. Who wants to translate all this? I will. Good evening to all of you. I'm happy to be here this evening. Thank you for inviting me. From time to time, I usually drum dance with my 3 oldest granddaughters. I'm drum dancing alone this evening. I was just mentioning very briefly about mid-50s. I was about 6, maybe 7 or 6. We were still living in traditional style, and my parents constantly start to remind me at the age of 6, come up with a song, come up with your song that you will be drum dance to all your life. Here I was 6 years old. How can I compose a song at age 6? My age group were going through the same process. That was our way of life. Then, child version, I composed a song. Not to shut up my parents, but I have to come up with one. And soon after that, it really heavily encouraged me to come up with a helping spirit. The spirit that you will be with all your life. And the spirit has to have a name. So after I finished composing a child version drumming song, now I have to come up with helping spirit at the age of 6. Finally, I come up with one. Inugaon niya become my helping spirit. That song I created when I was 6, and that helping spirit, Inugaon niya here, 2024, both are still in my pocket. Now, when a man or a woman start to come to adulthood, man, for instance, he comes through many journeys every day, like a hunting, sometimes with dad, sometimes I learn he's a young man. Over the course of few years, every day, he would hunt, go on a journey. And I think that song I was composing at the age of 6, they were preparing me that will come back in my young adult life when it's time for me to compose a song. My age group, even the generation before me, which like my late brother Silas Ilangeo, we never capture the art of bihik making or the song making the Inuit way. They have unwritten rules for both men and women. So also we were in the midst of the changing world. Although we become good hunters at a young age, we never compose the adult style vehicular song. The song often I hear constantly when I was a boy, when they taught me how to drum dance. It's always that same song. Later on, I learned it was my late father's Mickey's. And another song often I hear time to time, this young boy, me, would drum dance. Another song would be used constantly. I later learned that song belonged to my namesake, Hekwa, Hekwahala, elder before me. The Ahiamute pass on their song through namesake or by gift. So when Hekwahala passed away in Whale Cove, the song become mine. And one of my grandchildren is named after me. Her name is Hikwak, Laura Hikwak Labak. We share the song. When I'm no longer in this earth, she will be the lone owner of that song. Tomorrow, I will share that song with you. Tonight, I will share my late father's song. I wish you know all Inuktitut. When you listen to that song, it's beautiful story. It tells you just by listening to the song how he feels. He went out the door, look out, and start his journey for the day. What was on the horizon, what he's looking for. And then again, the song repeat like a chorus, those things that he has to remember as a man. And there's also ways to compose songs for women. So it's a nice story by my late father. I'm going to demonstrate the drumming in front of me here. I might fall off the stage. So if you could start the music right now, please.
Aya manaya ya yo kêu le có tia tia tớ khai về yo manaya aya manaya ya 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 manaya ya 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 Aya haya haya lo me ma ne pe so lo a song a ha ko pe yo ti a ko khai ya man na ya aya man na ya 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 man na ya 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 aya 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 ne lo mana pa kha ya pe yo ma ya ne lo te ko te mana ya aya mana ya 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 mana ya 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 haya aya haya ngao ca men ma ko nên ma pe yo ma ya me lo te ko te ve manaya aya manaya ya 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 manaya ya 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 aya ya
Absolutely beautiful. So Nukimik, David, and thank you again to all for the music tonight and for your songs. And we want to thank you again for everybody for joining us tonight. And for also, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow for that important part of the knowledge sharing. And it's going to be happening in this room again. So we'll meet here at 8 a.m. for the breakfast. And the program will begin at 8:30. So we want to wish you a good night and some good rest. Miigwech.